welcome to Annoch Moor in Fort William in Scotland. To the left of me is the UK's highest point, the Ben Nevis Mountain, and to the right of me is the legendary Fort William World Cup track. The most brutal, the most testing mechanically, physically and mentally track on the World Cup circuit. I'm Rob Warner, and right now I'm going to walk you down this on our Fox Racing Shocks course walk for what it will be round 4 of this year's Nissan UCI Mountain Bike World Cup. Here we are on the top section of the course then. Not particularly testing compared to the rest of it. It was built new for the Worlds a few years back. But the thing up here is it's incredibly exposed, and you know, we're here in June, but it feels like it's about -10 wind chill. It's freezing cold. That gives the riders problems getting warm enough and staying warm in the start before they set out. But the big problem up here is the wind. The wind, I've actually seen riders get blown right off this top section. So the forecast is looking up a little bit for Sunday, but in my experience, weather forecasts up here don't count for anything. The weather seems to change in minutes. Fingers crossed it doesn't affect the race come race day. Well, as you can see, this top section is essentially built on a bog. It's built on top of a moor here. They brought in all the rocks and the hardcore to lay down this path on this entire top section of this course. Usually it's wet, it's mushy, and it's really wet and soft, and you get big holes forming, which is what this course is famous for, and a lot of rocks come through, and it's by far the roughest track on the World Cup circuit. Puncture's a real problem. Right now though, I've never seen it look so dry. It's like concrete, and if it stays like this, I'm sure we're going to see the fastest World Cup race at Fort William we've ever seen. Well, after the top section gently meanders down to this point, it's business as usual for the Fort William track. This is how it got its reputation. High speed, rocky, big hits everywhere. This section here actually used to frighten the life out of me. You try and stay off the brakes all the way down that straight behind me into a left-hand turn, which has the biggest braking bumps you've ever seen. Great fun to ride, but not that cool if it goes wrong, believe me.
I've got more friends like you, what do I do? Is there no stacking anymore? What it takes, who I am, where I've been belong. You can't be something you're not. Be yourself, by yourself, stay away from me. A lesson learned in life, known from the dawn of time. Walk, what did you say? Respect. Walk, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Well, look how rough that is. I'm sure the camera flattens that out, but that's really steep, really hard for these guys to stop. We've only had 2 or 3 hours practice already, and it's already getting chewed up. Can you imagine what a mess it's going to be by Sunday?
You cried a weak friend, sad sympathize. Can you hear the violins playing your song? Those same friends tell me your every word. Is there no stagnant?
Well, these turns pretty typical of the ones on the top part of this course, except this year they're way drier than I think I've ever seen them. Usually they're blown out with big holes, but I'm sure once the rain comes they soften up. They're going to go that way. Really important to get off the brakes early through these turns, carry speed and get on the pedals as quickly as you can, because once you're into these straights here, they're so rocky and rough, it's very hard to get any cranks in. This straight here leads into a way more technical section. Let's go and have a look at that.
What did you say?
Oh.
Respect. Walk, are you talking to me?
Well, I've never seen this usually difficult section so fast and so dry, but believe me, it's slippery when wet.
Respect. Walk.
Well, that deer gate there just above us signifies pretty much halfway down this course, certainly the end of that top man-made section, which I have to say is a lot faster and a lot smoother than I've ever seen it, and going to be a lot less physical and a lot less arm pump inducing for the boys. This is the bottom section here, we're just at the top of it. It doesn't look like it's had as much work done on it, it's looking rough, it's way more natural, and I think, I've heard, we've got a new wood section to have a look at.
Walk, are you talking to me? Respect. Walk, what did you say? Respect. Walk, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Walk on home, boy.
Well, here's that brand new section we were talking about. A good old bit of old-fashioned British mud and roots, I'm pleased to report. Still really soft, lots of roots coming through. There's a couple of lines on the way out of here. The high line not really getting used yet because it's so new, but come Sunday I think it will be. It'll probably give a quicker exit. Interestingly enough, you know, it's almost certain to rain up here and this will be horrendous. And the guys really won't be able to use spikes because they're not going to stick spikes on just for a 20-second section of this track. Everyone's using dry tails because of how hard and fast it is. So come Sunday, this could be a good spot to watch. Could be where it's won or lost.
Walk on home, boy.
Man, those midges are out already. Well, this is pretty much the exact point where the gradient runs out on the Fort William World Cup track. Still about a minute to the finish line, and it just winds down here through the trees. There's a few turns, really important to carry your speed through those, but more important just to get those pedal strokes in wherever you can. And then remember, we've got that long shoes, the famous last straight down into Fort William, where people are going to have to dig deep. But for me, there's too many midges. I'm out of here. Well, what is this? Back in my day, there'd been none of this North Shore rubbish. Kids today got it way too easy.
I am the guilty one. Born chained.
Midges, mate. Fucking terrible. Well, here's a nice little touch the riders will appreciate. The old course used to come around there, new this year. They've straightened it out, meaning these guys can carry a lot more speed out onto this final sprint towards the Fort William finish line.
Feel the heart that pumps bad blood all inside of me. I am the lonely one. All my guts are turning gray. I am the silent one. I don't care just what they say.
Well, after 4.5 minutes of what can only be described as hell on earth, some of the riders will cross this line come Sunday. That's the end of our course walk too, our Fox Racing Shocks course walk from here in Fort William. Will the revelation that is Steve Peat make it 3 in a row? Last year's winner Greg Minnaar will be desperate to get on top of the podium, and twice winner here, including a World Championship, Sam Hill will be looking to take his first victory of 09, throwing wildcards G. Atherton and Mick Hanna, and this volcano is sure to erupt come Sunday. Don't miss it, live and exclusive on Freecaster. See you then.
Okay, the new, I'm on the vibe, you're watching Freecaster.
That's perfect.